Hi guys, welcome back from the ad break. So I really hope that you got to freshen up a bit with a glass of water, just so that there can be some flow of blood there and you can be a bit hydrated rather there, so that you can be able to look at more analytical geometry. Now we're going to look at the circle analytical geometry, right? This is about the equation of a circle and then also the equation of a tangent to a circle. But firstly, let's look at some keywords that we're going to try and look at, and then later do some questions that have to do with equations of a circle and equation of a tangent. Now, one thing that you need to make sure you are clear on when it comes to circles is the concept of origin, because this is where the coordinates are 0 and 0. So you do need to please make sure you know that, right? And normally it's where the axes are perpendicular to one another. The center will be the midpoint number 1 of the diameter. If this is the diameter, then this will be the radius of the circle, right? And then also the center will be normally where we place the radius from there to the circumference of the circle, right? So that's where the center is actually normally at. Then the radius is then the line that moves from that center to the circumference of the circle. And as I indicated there, it is half the diameter of a circle. Just a quick overview of what you need to be familiar with is we have circles in the Cartesian plane, which one will be the equation of a circle where the center is at any point on the circumference, right? And on the Cartesian plane, I mean. And then the equation is normally given by x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. And then these will then be a and b being the center of the circle, and then r being the radius. So you will need to find the square root of that in order to get the radius. So if this is equals to maybe 16, it means r is equals to 4. So the radius of the circle is 4 units. Now, if the center is now at the origin, right, it means this is from x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. Remember that I said the a and the b, right, are the coordinates of the center. Since we are saying the center is at the origin, it means this is x minus 0, which is equals to x, and then you square that, it will be y minus 0, which is just y, then you square that, right? So maybe let me just put my squared there. And then the radius, there's nothing that changes there. So this is the same as x squared plus y squared equal to r squared, right? Our center is 0 and 0, and then r is still the radius. That does not change. To try and apply what they've just told us now is, firstly they say determine the equation of the circle with its center at the origin. So immediately I am told that I will know that it's 0 and 0, and the radius is 5 units, so that's r. But because it's the center at the origin, you can just use this equation here that we just spoke about instead of using this equation, which will definitely give you the same answer, just that you will need to substitute, which makes it a bit of a longer calculation. So instead, this will just be x squared plus y squared equals to 5 squared. And then it becomes x squared plus y squared is equals to 25. But if you wanted to use the other equation, it will then be x minus 0 all squared plus y minus 0 all squared equals to 5 squared, you see. And then it will be x squared plus y squared is equals to 25. You see, so it's more or less one and the same thing that we're really going to do there. Now, what if the point that the circle is passing through is minus 2 and 4, but we don't know what the radius is, right? So that simply tells us that x squared plus y squared is equals to r squared. We know that this circle is passing through the point minus 2 and 4, meaning the distance, which is the radius, we can find it by substituting the point minus 2 and 4, which will make it minus 2 all squared plus 4 all squared is equals to r squared. And this will be 4 plus 16 equal r squared. Then r squared will be equals to 20. Then you don't really need to even find the square root there, right? I was actually about to do it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even need to do that. So it will be x squared plus y squared equal to 20. And that will be the equation that we need there. So you don't really need to find the r value, the actual radius, because you are going to square it after all. Then determine the equation with a center at, and then the y-axis is the tangent to the circle. What does that tell us? With this one, we will need to kind of draw a diagram, right? Our center is at 3 and minus 1, so that is somewhere there. And then our y-axis will be the tangent. So it means our circle kind of goes like this. You see, where this is the tangent. And if that's the case, it tells us that these are perpendicular, then the radius will be, since this was 3 and minus 1, the radius will be from there to the point 3 and minus 1, which will make it 3 units. So you see already from that I know x minus a all squared. And then while I'm writing it, I want you to think about, why am I now using this one and not the x squared? Yes, I know you thought of it. It's because the center is no longer at the origin, right? And then it's x minus 3 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared. And this is equals to, remember we said our radius is 3 squared. And this becomes x minus 3 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared is equals to 9. And then you would have found the equation there. The diameter AB of a circle has coordinates A, 1, which is 1 and 4, and then B, which is 7 and 0. What is this? This is a diameter, right? So it means, 1, for us to find the center of the circle, we must find the midpoint of AB, right? And then to find the radius, we will then find, so the radius will then need us to find the distance of AM or the distance of BM, right? If you can do that, then you will know what the center and the radius is. So let's quickly look at the center first. So to find the center, I know this will then be x at A plus x at B divided by 2, and then y at A plus y at B divided by 2. And then from there, I will then say this is the same as x at A is 1 plus 7 over 2. And then this is 4 plus 0 over 2. So in simple terms, I will just say C now, right? In simple terms, our center will just be 4 and 2. Now let me just erase this so that it doesn't make it look like an E, right? And then from there, since I know this, I can find my my radius, or I can just simply say, now let's say x minus 4 all squared plus y minus 2 all squared is equals to r squared. And then we use either the coordinates of A or the coordinates of B. If I use A, it will be 1 and 4. So that will be 1 minus 4 all squared plus it is 4 minus 2 all squared, and this will give me my radius, right? So, and this will simply be 3 squared is 9, then 2 squared will be 4. So that means it's 9 plus 4, which will be 13, and that is equals to r squared. And then I can now write it, I'm just going to write it up there, right? Then my equation will now be x minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equals to 13. And that's how you can then find the equation of that circle. Now, please understand this. There's a time where the center is at the origin. There's certain things that you need to know there. You can even think of it as just the theorem of Pythagoras, right? X squared plus y squared equal to r squared. Or the center is not at the origin. Then there you definitely need to go with x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. From there, I promise you, nothing will ever confuse you with this. Just make sure you remember that diameter is twice the radius of a circle. Therefore, the midpoint of a diameter will be the center of the circle. Guys, let's just quickly take a quick ad break. When I come back, I will then look at one more question that has to do with the circles and try to see how best we can answer that. Please stay tuned. I'll be back just now.